Well, you know what they say. There are no kingdoms without rulers. Are you ready for change? We could be kings and queens.
Hello my beautiful love goods, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are building a base game only house. This one is a colonial house too. It's really cool. It's really simple but really cool. It's like very uncharacteristic of me to build a house this big, just saying, so don't get used to it, but you know, it's pretty cool, but yeah, this is a 5-bedroom and 3-bathroom family house on a 40 by 30 lot in Willow Creek, and I did start it building on this 40 by 30 lot, but I do move it to another one in Willow Creek that is positioned better than this one, because this one's like positioned horizontally and the other one's vertical. So yeah, it's definitely much nicer here. But yeah, it took me like 3.5 hours to build this house, which for some people is not that long for building, but for me it's very long because I have a really short attention span, and so building a house like this takes me forever, so you know. But yeah, it's on the gallery. Just search for the username lukeydean and the hashtag lukey. It's base game only, no custom content, no mods, no DLC, no nothing. It's completely base game, I guess. Maybe should be. But yeah, it does have a pretty interesting front yard too. The front yard's very manicured. I used this fence from the debug section in the catalog. It's when you type in bb show hidden objects true and bb show hidden or show live edit objects true. And it's this really cool fence. It's like metal wire fence, and it's kind of cool, and I definitely want to use it more in future builds. I actually have the perfect, you know, idea to use it. So but in this one I used it for just the fence around the front yard, but also to border the pathways. It took me forever, so I did do quite a bit of editing to the video to make sure it wasn't too long and monotonous and boring, just because, you know, nobody wants to sit here and watch me do that for, you know, like 30 minutes, because it took me a while to figure it out. But yeah, it was really fun. It was really fun nonetheless. It looks really nice in the end. The house is pretty much equipped for kind of any family that you want. I didn't really include any toddler stuff, unfortunately, but that's pretty easy to add. All you have to do is add a little toilet, like a little potty, and of course I guess a high chair if you wanted. You don't need to add a high chair for toddlers. That's the thing. They can kind of go without it, and yeah, but anyway, I actually just finished live streaming. If y'all don't know, I have started streaming on Twitch at lukeyLupin. It's twitch.tv/lukeyLupin. That will be in the description. But I just finished streaming some Runaway Teen Challenge. It was so much fun. I will be exporting my live streams to YouTube, of course. But you know, I just want y'all to. It'd be cool if y'all hung out. And I am now a Twitch affiliate, which is really awesome. I was blown away with how quickly it happened, and I'm very like happy that it happened. I don't know. Just so many things are just kind of doing so well in my life right now. I'm feeling so much better about myself and just kind of everything. And you know, Twitch has always been that thing that people have kind of told me that I should do, and then I was like, I always really wanted to do it, but now that I am doing it, I feel like so much more like content with what I'm doing, because it's just, I don't know, there's just something about it that I love, and it's just the interaction with people, and just like I don't know, it's so good. I'm never gonna stop doing YouTube though, don't get me wrong, y'all. I'm never gonna stop making videos, because I do love making videos too. I've always been one of those people that I just love doing a lot of different things, because I can't, like, I'm the type of person that I need to have something to do at all times, or I go crazy. Like literally, even if I go to work, I come home and I still want to, like, I'm still like going at 100%. So yeah. But anyway, what else is new? What else is going on with me? Aside from Twitch and YouTube and everything, nothing really has been happening, to be honest. Nothing I want to share right now, at least. But it's been good. It's been really good. Like, I've just been feeling great. My mental health is in a good place right now. It's been in a great place for actually quite a while. I don't know. It's just, I'm just happy. I don't know. It's something that I never really have been able to like say and be perfectly honest about. Like I'm really happy with how things are going, and yeah, thank you. And like I just want to say thank you all for being part of my life, I guess. Like for being, I'm gonna be a little bit, just a little bit, mushy, but just thank you all for being such amazing love goods and for being such an amazing community of people that have always been super just super great. Like y'all are just so cool. Like I almost never get any bad comments from anybody, and y'all always leave the nicest comments, and it's just so great. It's so great. I love it so much. But yeah. Anyway, as you can see here, I am just finishing up the nice manicured front yard. I actually love this. It's definitely something different than I normally do because, I build a lot of tiny houses. A lot of my tiny houses are pretty straightforward. Sometimes they don't really have like a yard. It's more like they are in the yard, I guess. But in this case, it's a very simple suburban house. So I wanted to give it a nice little posh looking front yard with a little fountain and like a little flower bed area. I don't know. It looks pretty cute. I really like it. So I definitely didn't go too crazy with landscaping on this build just because, the landscaping has been a little glitchy with the recent update. It's just been a little bit all over the place, quite literally. So, but yeah, I did edit quite a bit of that out. It was kind of boring after a while. I didn't want to go overboard with, like the same old. But as you can see here, I am adding a modern extension out the back of this colonial house. I thought that would be a cool little twist. It's pretty simple. It's just like a box that's been attached to the back, but it adds a lot more room, and there's a couple bedrooms and a bathroom on that end, and then also on the first floor, like the bottom floor there, it is like a studio space. So it's just like, I don't know. It's just like a little skill building place for your Sims. And I do change up the colors on this modern extension a bit because I felt like it was almost too out of place even for this. So I gave it some white accents instead, and that actually made it blend into the build a lot better. And I do use this brick. Now, I used the brick from the base game that was in the recent update that we all love. It's kind of everybody's favorite brick right now because it's got that nice level of detail and like rustic look to it, and I don't know, it's just really, really nice. But we did have a brick come in another update like quite a long time ago actually, and it's pretty similar except it's a lot more cleaner and like more, I don't know, it's more varied in color. It's very slightly different, but I decided to use that for the modern extension just because I thought, maybe they used the same brick except this brick looks newer, and so it looks a little bit cleaner, a little bit less, eroded in spots. It's all clean and uniform and organized. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just thought, it's enough difference to see, but it's not too much, so it still looks cohesive with the house. So. But yeah, this house has a pool out the back as well, because what big house would be complete without a pool? It's just crazy. I also add a telescope as well because, there's not a whole lot of things to do with just the base game. And so I'm sorry if you heard my chair squeak there, but the base game doesn't have a whole lot you can do sometimes. So it's good to have, as much as you can to do in a lot as well. So I added the telescope, and there's like a little gazebo out here as well with just a little like what is it called, chess table. And yeah, there's some lounge chairs and a barbecue area as well. It's just a run-of-the-mill backyard, nothing fancy or anything, right? But seriously, it is pretty fancy. I actually I tried recording this voiceover a couple hours ago, but I kept getting interrupted, and I just kind of was like, I need a break. But yeah, like I was talking about how this house is definitely not something that I have much experience with in my own real personal life because, I grew up in, Kentucky, and I grew up in a holler. That's what we call it. I don't care. If I know the word is hollow, it's not the same. It's holler. But yeah, basically that's just like, it's like the place between two mountains where they meet, and it's like pretty cramped. It's pretty small. It's not a valley by any means. It's a holler. It's pretty cramped. So it's very woodlandy and very, isolated at times. So I definitely didn't experience like a traditional suburban house because, there's not really suburbs here in my town, at least. It's you know, it's not really the suburbs. You know, there's nothing like that here. You know, obviously, like the city that I work in, it's not really a city. It's really a town too. It's not that much bigger, but it does kind of have some suburban area, but it's still pretty, like, you can see farmland. So, you know, it's not that big a deal. So it's definitely really far outside of my experience. So if these houses like this don't really make sense in some ways, or if they don't really look like a particular type of house that makes sense, I guess, just remember that, remember I'm from a much different background than what I build. So that's why I build a lot of tiny houses, because tiny houses, like, even though I've never actually been in a tiny house, I have a little bit more of a, I guess, an understanding of them, just because, I've seen them more. I've studied them more too. It's just been something that I've been interested in more than anything, because I think about think about living in a house this big. Like, maybe some of y'all have lived in a house this big or do live in a house this big, but I can't really imagine it, because it's so big and there's so much, so many things and so many rooms and so much to take care of. And I just think about a tiny house and I'm just like, but a tiny house is so simple. It's just a couple rooms. It's not even that sometimes. It's, you have everything you ever need in a small space, and I don't know. There's something about living in a tiny house that still, like, appeals to me, that I genuinely want to try. I really want to try living in a tiny house one day in my life. That would be such a fun video, wouldn't it? Like, wouldn't it be such a cool, like, little mini series of videos where I'm like, I build a tiny house, except it's in real life. And, like, the video can be me building it in The Sims, and then it can, like, flash forward like a year later and be like, guess what? I built it in real life too. And then I, like, do a tour of the actual house, and then do another video where I tour the house that I built and, like, compare them. Yeah, I have all the ideas, right? And then somebody's going to take them. But gladly, if anybody out there takes that idea, please do it, because that would be so fun. But yeah, I definitely want to do that one day. I definitely want to build a tiny house, because it's a pretty cool thing, because tiny house living, it's like, it's not minimalist per se, but it's got a light carbon footprint. It's good for the environment. It's good for, you as a personal person. What am I saying? You know what I mean? It's good for like people's finances too, because it's really saving and cost efficient, and, it pays for itself essentially in the long run. And, just thinking about that, in particular to, my specific, area, having something that is easier to deal with when it comes to finances. I said that so complicated, but I can't really think straight right now. But yeah, just anything that is more cost efficient and will save money in the future is very, very smart for my area, because, Kentucky is a fickle fiend. The cost of living here is quite low compared to other states, but, you also don't make anything really here. Kentucky itself is so isolated sometimes that you don't really have a lot of opportunity here. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, we have opportunity, but if you live in a city here in Kentucky, which there's not many cities, if you live in a city, and you'll be pretty okay. But in these little towns like what I grew up in, it's it's kind of hard to find full-time work and be able to afford to live on your own without having two jobs. So it's something. It's something. But anyway, after that little discussion aside, I'm finally moving on to the interior of this house. As you can see, I am just kind of figuring out the like the wallpapers and stuff. I did the floor plan off camera because, let's be honest, it took me a little bit of time to plan it. Not too bad, but it took me a while. The one thing in this house, though, that I still kind of, wasn't a huge fan of was the living room. I just didn't really much care for the placement and the shape of it, but, it's still pretty nice. The kitchen is really big and spacious, too. I love the kitchen. It's actually really, really well laid out, I think. It's really, really cool. I think I kept it looking like this, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to look through my screenshots, and I can't really tell. Where is the kitchen? Did I take screenshots of the kitchen? Oh, yes. Oh, thank goodness. Yes. Oh my gosh. I was so worried that I didn't. And don't worry, I did. You will see them. But yeah, it's pretty spacious. They have 2 stoves because why not? And I should have put 2 refrigerators. That would have made sense. But, you know, whatever. It's fine. It doesn't actually need to have 2 refrigerators. But, I mean, I guess if you had all these Sims, it would be pretty practical. So, yeah, but there is also a pretty big dining space there as well, connected to the kitchen. There is a bar area to eat for your Sims, but also there is a nice little dining space there with all those windows. It's really, really pretty. I can imagine that the light flows through really, really beautifully because The Sims 4 is really pretty. I will say that. The game itself is beautiful. I love building in it. I love just the vibes that we get, but you know, there has been a little bit of discussion lately from the Sims community right now. It's been kind of, you know, it's been increasing in numbers, the amount of people that have been talking about this. But I just want to say really quickly a little disclaimer that, you know, everybody has the right to their own opinion. You know, as long as they're not being harsh towards other people and they're being kind and respectful, then it's okay to state different opinions when it comes to, you know, video games and art and stuff like that. But anyway, recently I actually tweeted something that, you know, got quite a few likes and retweets, which was kind of surprising because I was like just tweeting nonsense one day while I was at work because I was just kind of like, I wasn't at work, but I was like on break from work and I was just like kind of frustrated one day and I was like, I'm just gonna tweet about the Sims. But basically I said, you know, don't blame the Sims team for the game not being, you know, made as good as it can be. It's EA, it's their problem because EA has, you know, some issues with, you know, wanting to rush games and stuff like that. You know, EA is really the reason why, because they don't give them enough time and resources. Now, I do understand too that the Sims team, they do tend to also kind of make some poor decisions. I will say that for sure. They have made some very poor decisions with, you know, what they can do. So, yeah, take it with a grain of salt, I guess. But yeah, essentially, The Sims, you know, I like The Sims 4. It's lacking. We all know that it's lacking. It doesn't have as much as we want. Like The Sims 2, it's constantly compared to The Sims 2 because, you know, The Sims 3, it was a lot. Let's be real. It was a fun game. It's such a fun game, but it's a kind of broken game because it's just so big and bulky and chunky and just, it's hard for computers that aren't really, really good to deal with. So we're going to compare The Sims 2 to The Sims 4. That's what people usually do because, you know, The Sims 2 has all these little details and just like these little things that make the game feel so alive. And The Sims 4 is kind of the opposite because The Sims 4 has beautiful graphics and then there's nothing much else to do. I still find a lot to do in the game and I still have a lot of fun, but without mods, it's kind of meh, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that because I don't know. I wish that I hope that The Sims, you know, they realize that in the next title, I hope that they realize how they failed with The Sims 4. Not failed, that's a pretty strong word to use, but I just hope that with The Sims 5 or whatever is released next, that they realize that, you know, there's things that they could do better, you know. I hope that EA realizes that, you know, they need to kind of stop being so money hungry and start focusing on actually creating good games because, you know, capitalism has kind of ruined art in this regard. So yeah, but anyway, I just want to ask you all, leave it in the comments down below, what do you want to see in The Sims 4 and what do you think could be improved? I just want to say really quickly, if you want cars, if you want open world, if you want a color wheel, I get that. I do. I think cars would actually be great if they were like The Sims 2, but other than that, you know, leave something else different down there because, you know, we all want that stuff. Let's be honest. We all want that stuff. At least the color wheel. I would love the color wheel in CAS even. I don't even need it in the actual, like, building and buy mode. It would be really cool in Create a Sim to have that color wheel for, like, hair and, you know, makeup and even clothing. Like, I don't know. Just tell me in the comments what you want. For me, I have quite a few things I want, to be honest. As a builder, I would definitely like more swatches to be given to items instead of just like a couple. You know, I'd like a good like 10 swatches at least for each item. I also want some basic swatches for everything, regardless of what it is. I want, you know, white, I want black, I want the basic wood tones, and I want like a couple, you know, like pastels as well, like light pinks and like blues and stuff like that for everything. And then, you know, some more unique ones as well would be cool. But I want that. I also want more stairs, some more options for stairs. I love what we have now. I love that they added those configurable stairs. Those were really great. I wasn't going to do that in this build, but I kept it simple. And what else would I want? I do want, like, there's several little things that I want, but this is the big thing. Again, I just want to say, be respectful of my opinion, my thoughts, everyone else's thoughts. Just be respectful. If you're being disrespectful, I will remove your comment. Just a little pre-warning, because I've had a lot of flack for this. But I'm a non-binary person, and I know that a lot of people make excuses for them not doing this. But let's be honest, they just haven't yet, because EA. But yeah, I would like the ability to have a bit more, like, I would like some more gender options rather than just, male, female, binary options. I want some more non-binary, more fluid options. I want the ability to select different pronouns for my Sims. I want that, I want that in my game. And it's definitely something that it's definitely something that they're going to have to really do their research on if they're going to do it right. So yeah, I hope they do it one day, and I hope they do it in a good, respectful way that works and is good representation, because my reasoning behind this is not only my personal desire for that. Yes, I want that to be able to have a sim in my game that is like me. That's great. I would love that for the representation of, non-binary people, but it's also a really good outlet for education. This will teach people about what gender identity is. It'll teach people that it's not just binary, etc. It would be really, really amazing if we had that in the game. So, it's definitely something to consider. It's definitely something for, the Sims team that I hope that they hear us. There's not a lot of people speaking about this, so I'm just going to keep talking about it myself. I've gotten a lot of, jerks on Twitter, be sure to tell me that they don't support it and they think that I don't exist, and they, think that I need to shut up and stuff like that. And I don't care. I don't care. Like, they're just white boys that white boys, you know what I mean? I'm white, but you know what I mean? Like, they're just straight cis boys that, I just block and I don't care about. So anyway, another rant aside, I'm continuing on with the furnishing of this house, and as you can see, the living room, I kind of wish I would have left the living room the way it is right now. It's kind of nice looking. It's got that pastel pink and pastel blue. It's kind of nice, that little dichotomy there, but I think I do change it to a dark blue just because I wanted to kind of keep it more consistent with the house in general, because there's a lot of those types of colors throughout, and I just wanted to keep it kind of consistent. And there's a lot of computers in this house too, by the way. Just a little heads up. There's a lot of computers, so your Sims will never be bored, and I'm sure that if you have any visitors, they will all be on the computers, because that's what happens a lot, is when you have Sims visit, they tend to jump to the computer as soon as they can for some wild reason. I don't know, it's just an autonomous thing. It's crazy. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I don't know why I said pretty awesome. You know what I mean? But anyway, I think did I mention Twitch already? I think I did mention Twitch. Yes, I did. I'm still kind of in shock that I hit affiliate already. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, I'm still kind of like, so many things are happening in my life. It's so great. I don't know. But anyway, here is the studio space. It's like a studio / just kind of general skill building place. There's some easels. There's a computer. I made this kind of L-shaped desk because I thought this would be like a work desk for like an artist or something. I don't know. It'd be cool if we had like, I need to look and see if there is, because I would use it just for fun. But if there's like some like computer accessory, like custom content, and like you could like get a printer and like a tablet that's like a graphics tablet, and then like some speakers or something, it'd be kind of cool to have like that just for decor, because I feel like I would have put a printer there on that table, because I just imagine an artist living here and, you know, they work on their art and their prints and stuff like that. Maybe they sell stickers. And then this other side is like a little, you know, music space for, you know, just maybe the teenagers, maybe the kids, maybe they get them into music and like guitar and violin and piano and like even singing, and, you know, maybe even, you know, other things too. You know, there's probably, you can easily remove that stuff and like add your own skill building items. But it's kind of my favorite room in the whole house. It's really, really fun. I love building studio spaces. You know that pretty much every single base game build has a studio space, because, you know, I'm I'm an artist myself. I like to paint, and you know, at least I try to paint. Sometimes I haven't painted in like 2 weeks. I don't know. It's been a while, but you know, if I had my own space and I had the time, I definitely would. So, like my own like studio space, not just like I have space, but you know, like a studio space, like a place to go. Like, you know, if that was my career, oh my gosh, wouldn't that be amazing if that was my career? I have so many things going on. I have so many things going on in my life right now. There's no way I can do art. But yeah. I don't know. It's pretty fun. This house was pretty amazing, but I did leave one of the bathrooms in. I'm pretty sure I didn't film the rest. I may have. I can't really remember, but they're pretty simple and they're pretty, you know, run of the mill. You know, they're bathrooms. They're nothing special, but you know, they're base games, so it's not like they're really pretty or anything. They're just basic bathrooms. There's nothing crazy about them, but. Okay, so now the 5 bedrooms in this house, there is a master bedroom, and then there is a kid's bedroom with 2 beds. It's like a twins room or something. There is like 2 other bedrooms that could be for teenagers or children. It could be either or, but mostly they're for teenagers. And then there is one more bedroom that is like, it's a guest bedroom, but I also called it the grandparents' bedroom just because I was like, the grandparents spend over. They come over and they you know, spend a weekend or something, you know, maybe they're visiting on holiday, and this is like their room that they stay in, but it's like their guest bedroom, so it's pretty simple and pretty straightforward how it's furnished. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty nice house. I'm really, really happy with it, and I definitely think that I want to keep building more builds like this. It's not going to be all the time, of course, but once in a while, I'll definitely do it because it's just so much fun. I love it so much. But yeah, it's really fun. Anyway, what else is going on in my life right now aside from all this nonsense? Nothing else crazy. Did you all hear about the rebrand of Pottermore? I'm pretty sure it's still Pottermore right now, but it's in the process of being rebranded, and it's going to be called wizardingworld.com because, you know, Pottermore, you know, before it being called Pottermore and stuff, the reason why is because it was like an expansion of the Harry Potter universe. But now that universe has grown to more than just Harry Potter, it's been expanded to wizardingworld.com because, you know, you've got Fantastic Beasts, which is really cool. So what are your all's opinions of Fantastic Beasts? Let me know. I have only seen the first film. I haven't seen the second one, so no spoilers, please. But the first film, I liked it. It's pretty good, you know. It's definitely, you know, not my favorite, let's be honest. It's got some problems. It's kind of, you know, meh sometimes. But I did still really, really enjoy it because I liked the characters and I liked the world and just the feeling of it. It was pretty cool. It definitely gave me some really, like, it gave me the wants and the feels for some really good fan fiction, not gonna lie, y'all. So just let me look and see if I can find that fan fiction. I've only read one fan fiction for Fantastic Beasts because we know that Graves is, you know, played by Colin Farrell. Is that his name? Yeah. And he is fun as hell, not gonna lie. But you know, that's how that, you know, that's my reaction right there. I was like kind of head over heels because I was like, oh my God, he's so pretty. But I wonder if I can find it. Let me see. I cannot remember what the fan fiction was called. I actually have a fan fiction that I read a pretty good time ago. Let me just look here through my fan fiction collection here. I have I basically have a reading app that's called Lithium, and it's really, really cool. Whenever you download any type of EPUB, which is the file name for most fan fiction sites, or at least for me, it automatically adds it to your library, and then you can just like read things however you want. But I don't remember what the story was called. Oh my goodness. It's been almost a year. It's been probably over a year at this point. But basically it's a Percival Graves and Credence story, which I know is kind of gross, probably. But I just imagine Credence to be like 20, you know, like in my head. maybe he's not canonically. I don't really know. I don't know any of that. I just know the first movie and that's it. So it may be wrong, to be honest. But in this story, he's like 20, so it's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I just do not remember the name of that story. It's gonna drive me crazy. I've also written my own fan fiction, by the way, just so you know. Just so you know. My fan fiction handle on Archive of Our Own is Lukey Lupin, as well as everything else is. It's just all one word, but it's called First Kiss. And it's a dreary one-shot, of course. It's not very long. Let's see how long it is. I've got it still on my phone. It is 576 words, so it's a nice little tidbit into Draco and Harry's life together, because it's it's one of those things. It's you know what I'm talking about, right? You've read fan fiction. Like, if any of y'all have read fan fiction, and if you haven't, girl, you need to. It's so good. It's addictive as hell. So. Anyway, I need to breathe for a second. I've been talking like crazy. I don't remember what the name of the fanfiction is called. It's going to drive me crazy too, because it was so good. It was so good. It was so emotional and realistic in a lot of ways. And I really love how it expanded the world of Fantastic Beasts. Yeah, that's what it's called. Fantastic Beasts. So, yeah, it's definitely... What is it called? That is so crazy. I don't know. There's so many good stories here that I forgot about. Wow, I'm like looking through them. Ooh, this is it. This is it, isn't it? It isn't. Yay. That was weird. But it is called This Thing of Darkness by Maggie Dragon. And I know that people are going to make fun of me for saying it like that. Don't get me started. My coworkers do it all the time. I have listened and watched a lot of Canadian content creators. So, like, that has rubbed off without me knowing. But Maggie Dragon is the username. But, yeah, it is pretty good. It's a Graves and original Graves and Credence. It's not the plot twist. So, but... Yeah, that's pretty much it though for the rambles. I'm like, yeah, I'm losing my mind. Why did I choose to record a 36-minute voiceover this late? I just streamed too, so I'm a sucker for punishment, I guess. But anyway, the house is nearly complete. Just remember that it is wow, English number 1. But yeah, just be sure to remember that this is on the gallery. It is under the username lukeydean. I'm potentially going to be changing that soon, but it's already like, I've almost got 400 videos. 400. I've got like 700. I've got so many videos now on YouTube that I can't really change it, because then people that watch the older videos will be like, wait, what? I don't see anything. So I guess it is too late to change it at this point. But yeah, just go look at under the username lukeydean and the hashtag Lukey as well to be able to find it. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty simple, but it's, 385,000 simoleons. So you're definitely either going to have to cheat or really, really play your Sims a lot. Like, get them evolved. This ain't Pokemon. But get them leveled up in their careers and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Be sure to follow me on Twitch if you want to catch any more future live streams. That is twitch.tv/LukeyLupin. And also be sure to follow me on social media. I am Lukey Lupin on Twitter. That's all one word, lowercase. And I am also on Instagram. That is Lukey_Lovegood. All that's in the description down below. And yeah, there's also the link to the red shelf that I use to clutter surfaces. That's also in the description, just so you know, because that's a super, super handy little item for cluttering up surfaces and everything. And yeah, I think that is pretty much it. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird and beware of the nargles.
We are brave, yes, even braver than the bravest. So let's go, start the race. We should be kings and queens every day. You've been trying to find your crown, happy camper through the ups and downs, keeping calm, winning ground. Let's build castles now. we'll make gold.